to have a conversation on Wake Up Nigeria this morning, and it is with Stephanie Oben. Now, she is a dynamic beauty queen, humanitarian, and global ambassador, crowned Miss Africa International 2026. She represents the elegance, intelligence, and resilience of the modern African woman, using her platform to inspire, change, and promote unity across the continent and the world. With a deep passion for women and youth empowerment, Stephanie is committed to initiatives that advance education, leadership development, and social impact. Her advocacy focuses on equipping young ladies with the confidence, skills, and opportunities needed to thrive in today's world. Indeed, it's a pleasure to have you join us on the show, Stephanie. How are you doing today?
Hello, Nigeria. Good morning, Nigeria. I am doing amazing. I'm pleased to talk to you today.
It's great to have you here. You were supposed to be on the show on Wednesday. Unfortunately, yes. You missed your flight. Sorry about that. It would have been really nice to have you in the studio, but it's all good.
I really wanted to come so I can teach you some catwalk skills.
Oh, that would have been awesome. One never quits learning. Learning is fun, of course. But hopefully someday soon you'll be able to come do that.
Fingers crossed.
All right, Stephanie, so let's talk about being crowned Miss Africa International. Now, before that happens, there's always a lot that goes on. What was your journey like from the moment you got into camp? Even before camp, what was it like?
My journey was nothing short of a beauty queen's normal journey. So it was just getting ready mentally and physically, working on my diet, working on my mindset, because I always believe that with a competition like this, when you have so many beautiful girls from across the African continent, you have to show your personality. So if you don't know, I'm actually based in Germany. I'm a Cameroonian based in Germany. And when I used to do beauty pageants in Germany, one of the things that made me stand out was being African and Black and being part of my heritage. But what makes Miss Africa International different is that every single person is African. Every single person has that spice in them. So I had to look within myself to think, okay, what makes Stephanie Stephanie apart from being a Cameroonian? What makes me proud of being African, of my heritage? And I had to bring that out. And I'm glad that the judges were able to see that as well.
What would you say is unique about you? What would you say is what made the judges pick you? What do you think did that?
I would say it's how articulate I was with the question that they asked, and obviously my journey and how I showed that I really want this. I really wanted to show Africa to the world, and I wanted to show people that the Africans in the diaspora are just as important and are just as African as the Africans back home. My goal has always been to bridge this gap between the Africans that are in the diaspora and the Africans back home, because I feel that there's always been this disconnect sometimes, that the Africans in the diaspora don't feel African enough, and the Africans back home, maybe they feel like they're not they don't match with the Africans in the diaspora. So I wanted to show the world, or the African continent rather, that whether you're African in the diaspora or you're African back home, we are all Africans and we represent the same thing, and that is to push African and entrepreneurship amongst women and young people on the continent.
Now let's talk about the moment you were crowned. How did you feel? What was it like?
Just seeing this crowd actually reminds me of that moment. It was a shock to me, to be honest, because even after the final question, I was still hoping, I was still praying, oh God, please let these people, or let the judges, or let the people around see what I really feel, see the person, the Stephanie that really wants to bring change and wants to bring the African or the Miss Africa International brand out there. So, and fun fact, actually, the crowd was made up of a lot of Africans, especially Nigerians, and people started chanting my name. And I said, oh my God, this means a lot to me, that the crowd that didn't even know me from the beginning turned to be on my side, because they always say, sing that in me. And regardless, I was still hoping that the judges would still pick me. So it felt just amazing that the people out there saw what I was seeing from within.
Now, almost every beauty queen, in fact, every winner has a pet project. So I'm wondering, tell me about yours. What is it?
So I have Beyond Borders Cameroon, which is to bridge that gap between, or the education gap between young people in Cameroon and young people abroad. So I'm from the southwest region of Cameroon, where we are currently going through a civil war. And so many people have lost their lives, and so many kids do not have the opportunity to go to school because their parents, since they have to concentrate on moving into different areas, they've not been able to pay for their school fees. So what I've been able to do so far is I've been able to work with different organizations to raise funds for these kids, to help them, even if it's with textbooks. And I remember visiting Cameroon last year in February, and I asked, what can I do for you as a school and as an institution? And they said, we just need drinking buckets and drinking cups. And it was just so shocking to me that in a school where you have so many kids, and kids are the future of tomorrow, and they don't even have drinking buckets. So I was able to use the little funds that I have and the little money I raised with these organizations to help out with these basic necessities such as drinking buckets, drinking cups, and exercise books. And we were also able to pay the school fees of two kids for a whole year. So I was really proud of that. And apart from that, I have an initiative called the Wear Your Crown initiative. It's a little community of young girls from all over the world, especially African girls. I'm talking Kenya, Nigeria now, because I recently went to Ghana. So I go to these different areas, and I give free workshops to young women on confidence, because catwalk and learning how to be in a beauty pageant has helped me so much in my confidence. So I'm able to take what I've learned so far and help these kids on how they can improve on their confidence so they can appear confidently in the world.
That is truly commendable. That is truly commendable. Now, for many Africans, there's this thing about there is Nigeria, sometimes South Africa, then there are other African countries. Now, as a Cameroonian, how have you always viewed Nigeria? You were in Nigeria as at Wednesday. You went from Abuja to the UK. So I'm wondering, how have you always viewed Nigerian as a Cameroonian?
So, I really love this discussion because there's one thing that we cannot shy away from. We cannot shy away from the impact Nigeria has on the continent and on how people see Africans as a whole. Nigeria is a community, or is a whole country filled with millions of people. So obviously they have such an amazing impact on the community, the African community as a whole. How I see Nigeria is it's a country filled with people that are resilient, and that people who, when they have a dream, they go for it. And that's how the world sees Nigeria as well. So I don't mind people thinking that being African or African is just made up of Nigeria and South Africa. But I also, I do what I can to show the world that there are also Cameroonians out there. I'm a Cameroonian who grew up with the Nigerian culture. So I consume Nigerian media, Nigerian TV, Nigerian music. I know a lot of Nigerian. It is so. If you're asking the wrong person, I think.
Now that you talk about it, I'm wondering, what's your take on the music generally? Because we hear a lot of African artists saying, "Oh, Nigerians should stop thinking music and everything in Africa is all about them." What's your take on it when it comes to music, movies? Would you say that there's a lot to be learned from Africa, from Nigeria, or you feel maybe people need to check other industries as well? Let me hear from you.
So I think instead of people trying to bring down Nigerian and the work that they put into their industry, I think other countries should learn from Nigerians, as you said, and put in that same work and be proud of themselves the same way Nigerians are very proud of themselves. If you go to a club in Germany or in Europe and there are Nigerians there, they would definitely want that they should play Nigerian music. Nigerians will not dance until you play Nigerian music. So if we bring in that same energy and promote our own, I'm talking about Cameroonians and other countries, then I think we would also achieve the same, or hopefully almost half of the success that Nigerians are achieving in the world. So instead of bringing people down, the same way we say we should not dim our lights so people should shine, I don't think we should let Nigerians dim their lights so we cannot shine. I think there's space for everyone, and we just have to work hard and learn from people who are already doing well.
So I'm really curious as to what to expect from you. But before then, just on a lighter note, who's your favorite Nigerian artist, and who's your favorite Nigerian actor?
Don't do this to me. There are so many amazing Nigerian artists out there. My favorite Nigerian artist so far is Ira Star. because she's a woman, and I know it's not easy to be a woman in the industry,
True.
to do the numbers that she's doing. And it's so inspiring that she's been unapologetically herself and just singing. And plus, I love her music so much. So,
Oh,
Ira
that's nice.
Star, I'd love to meet Don Jazzy. So, Don Jazzy, if you're watching this, hi. Because someone who has worked with so many artists, and I think there's just so much to learn from someone like that who has so much impact in the industry, in the music industry.
So your actor would be?
My favorite actor? My God, oh my God, this is
Okay, looks like that would be a tough choice.
it's a tough shot, but Bimbo. I don't know how
Bimbo Ademoye.
Bimbo Ademoye. So I
Interesting.
watched the other movie she did with the Odogu guy, and that was amazing. Her latest movie.
All right, so that brings me to what to expect from you. What next? 5 years from now, what do you expect to have achieved? What's the plan?
So 5 years from now, I would love for the Miss Africa International brand to be more acknowledged by Africans. I don't really care about the acknowledgement of the Western world. I want Africans to kind of see the Miss Africa. Yes, exactly. Embrace it and send their women to this competition, because it has changed my life. I've learned so much about the African continent. I've been able to travel to so many different African countries.
Nice.
I was in Ghana, Benin, Togo, and then Nigeria. And we're looking forward to traveling to other countries in the future, which I cannot announce yet. But it's just been such an amazing experience. And the same way people are looking towards Miss World, Miss Universe for empowerment, I think Miss Africa International, or pageants that are based on Africa and our heritage that celebrate us, should be highlighted more. So hopefully in 5 years, I see Miss Africa International, that go-to pageant for every African girl, to promote tourism in Africa and promote entrepreneurship in young women. Yes.
Awesome. It's been quite an interesting conversation with you, Stephanie. I have loads of questions for you. Unfortunately, it's time for us to take a break. Thank you so much for your time, Stephanie Oben, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I look forward to coming to Nigeria and just working with Nigerians, and just maybe getting into acting someday, and being in the industry, working in the hospitality industry in Nigeria as well.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. All right. Thank you so much. At this point, we'll take a quick break. You're watching Wake Up Nigeria. Stay with us. We'll be right back.